This is Feed Your Mind, and so they're saying that the time capsule of these Georgia Guidestones has been removed. Well, they're basically saying it's missing, not removed. So that's the official narrative of what they're saying is they looked for it, there was nothing there. I'm not so sure I believe that because now that I'm learning all this information about this time capsule, it makes me feel like this thing was destroyed in order to obtain this time capsule. That's what I'm feeling now because first of all, you know how that first piece, whatever happened with that, okay, that's one thing. But then the next day they bulldoze the whole thing, within 24 hours, and that's supposed to be a scene where they're supposed to be investigating and trying to figure out what happened there, what was set off in the first place, and instead they just demolished the whole thing instantly. I mean, they could have put up some fences or something around there and took the time and figured out, looked for evidence and shrapnel and stuff like that. Instead, they just demolished the whole thing, and then they dig up the place. And according to these pictures, I mean, it looks like they were looking for that time capsule. So now it's almost looking to me like this whole thing was about getting to that time capsule. There must have been a date that was set, and they knew what date to do this on. And so I guess we can speculate. What do you all think? Do you think they really did find a time capsule under there? Let's speculate it. Let's brainstorm on it as if they did. So what do you think they would have found? Well, what I think they might have found would have probably been like a spell book or something, like maybe there's some type of, it's like the next plan, the next step. And they obviously expected a moment where these time capsules were going to be destroyed because there was a time capsule under there. So you would have had to disturb this area anyways to get to it. Now, I would like to know if this time capsule was supposed to have been buried directly under the Guidestones, or was it kind of off to the side? Because if this time capsule was allegedly supposed to be directly under the Guidestones, then that would mean that they definitely would have had to destroy these things to get to it. And they intended these things to be removed at a specific date. If the time capsule was said to be off to the side or anything, then they probably would have liked to have preserved these Guidestones. So that's the question we really got to figure out: is where was these alleged time capsules supposed to be stored? So I'm gonna guess for now. So let's just guess that the time capsules were buried like directly under the Guidestones. That would definitely show us that this was a intentional moment that they've been waiting for. I guess they're saying they put these the Guidestones up around 1980. So that means these time capsules are about over 40 years old now. And they're saying there was a pseudonym for the person who claimed to have put these time capsules up. They called the guy, well, it's credited to some guy named R.C. Christian. So I don't for a second think that was one person. That was probably a group of people from the secret groups. And that's just what they decided to dedicate credit the whole thing to. And so R.C. Christian, that's a very interesting name. I mean, so we got the word Christian that just stands out right away. So it's like they're mocking Christianity or something, because these Guidestones were pretty much the opposite of Christianity with the things and the goals that was written on it. And it was almost kind of like mocking the Ten Commandments. It was like their own Ten Commandments. And as far as the RC, well, that sounds kind of like Roman Catholic, possibly. So, and then I think you guys kind of know what I think about the Roman Catholics. So, to me, that just adds to the whole thing about these time capsules, because I believe that the RC, let's call them the RC, because I don't think we're supposed to really say their names too much, but the RC they're pretty much involved with a lot of things and deceptions as far as what I've seen. So when it comes to the heliocentric model, and when it comes to the Big Bang Theory, and a lot of things with how people think, it's like, to me, they're definitely not Christian. So it's interesting that they would call it RC Christian, because I don't really consider them Christians. Now, if anything, you want to call them, you can call them Catholics, but I don't think I'd call them Christians. And then another interesting ritual thing that shows that this could be a ritual is that how these Guidestones were broken, just like how when Moses came down with his 10 commandments from the mountain, he saw his people worshiping a golden idol, and he ended up dropping the 10 commandments written by the hand of God in anger. He dropped them and they broke. And so I kind of heard that's what was put into the Ark of the Covenant or something too, like the broken pieces of the 10 commandments. But I do remember it said like he went back up, I think, and got another pair of commandments. But I don't know, I'm going to have to re-look back into a lot of that information and understand that story again, because it's been kind of a while since I've looked into that story, but that's kind of what I remember. So, but as far as the ritualistic connection there, it's interesting how the Guidestones were broken in pieces, and that just reminds me of, it looks like a ritual, because that's exactly what happened with the 10 commandments that Moses had. So as far as what was buried in the time capsule, I mean, we discussed that it could have been like some type of spell book or something, but there's some other things it could have been as well. Like, so leave some comments in the comment section so we can brainstorm on it. But another idea I might have for this, as far as what was in these time capsules, is it possible that it could have been further instructions to obtain the goals that was written on these capsules? That could be, maybe there was the next step. Maybe they said open, do not open until 2022. And the date is kind of interesting, because I did read and study how they say Pluto is some object in the sky, where the object was in the sky during the ending of the old kingdoms. So maybe with the timing, it is kind of around the 11th. They were expecting Pluto for its second significant date to be around July 11th. So it's kind of around that time where they're saying this, where these Guidestones were destroyed. The first trip was for Pluto was February 22nd, I believe, 222. So that's when Putin declared war with Ukraine. So the final date for the return of Pluto, they're saying, before it takes off again for another 400 years or whatever, is going to be December 28th, I believe. So, but, I'm not expecting these dates to be very significant, really, if you ask me, because, I don't really do the date stuff. But there could be some clues and signs around those days that I would, that we can look out for possibly. So, like I said, with this, with the Guidestones, we're seeing that it happened kind of around 7/11. So that could be a big clue, and then we'll just have to see if anything comes of, if anything takes place over the next year or two or whatever, based on this situation. If we notice a bunch of things happening, it could be connected to these Guidestones. It could be the date they're waiting for. But I'm kind of leaning towards this was a specific and an intentional incident to happen at this exact time, just based off of that time capsule, though, because like for there to be a time capsule there supposedly, and now they're saying there wasn't one, I just don't buy it, and I think that the instructions were to dig that capsule up at this time, on this time. And so whatever they found in these time capsules, I would guess it would be pretty significant, though. Let me know, what do you think about these time capsules? Do you think that it really was missing, or do you think that whoever needed to dig that up has dug it up and has obtained what was ever in there? And what do you think was the contents of the time capsule? This has been Feed Your Mind. I'm going to leave some links in the comment section. I'm also going to leave links if you would like to support this channel. You can donate as little as $1 to help keep things going here at Feed Your Mind. I'm also going to leave links to my free email newsletters and my social media and my other channels, plus much more. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. This has been Feed Your Mind, signing off.